Today on Rappler. The Mesa Dam starts overflowing due to the southwest monsoon or habagat. China denies an alleged link to an espionage group accused of cyberattacks on Singapore. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. arrives in the United States for his first official visit with President Donald Trump. A Chinese fishing vessel damages a coral reef near Pag-asa Island. And Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao settles for a draw against Barios. The weather agency Pag-asa reports the Mesa Dam started overflowing at 3 p.m. on Monday, July 21, as its water level reached 80.16 meters. The dam's spilling level is 80.15 meters. Low-lying areas near the Tulyahan River in Quezon City, Valenzuela, Caloocan, Malabon, and Navotas may be affected. Meantime, the Marikina River's water level has reached the second alarm. Some areas have suspended classes for Tuesday, July 22, due to the effects of the southwest monsoon or habagat. The Chinese embassy in Singapore refutes claims that China is linked to an espionage group accused of cyberattacks on Singapore's key infrastructure. In a Facebook post, the embassy called the claims, quote, groundless smears and accusations. It adds, quote, the embassy would like to reiterate that China is firmly against and cracks down all forms of cyberattacks in accordance with law. Last Friday, a Singapore minister said the espionage group UNC 3886 was targeting high-value strategic threat targets and key infrastructure that provides essential services, though no specific details were shared. It was the cybersecurity firm Mandiant that identified UNC 3886 as a China Nexus espionage group. Beijing routinely denies involvement in cyber-espionage, saying it opposes all forms of cyber attacks and is itself a victim of such threats. Singapore's critical infrastructure includes sectors like energy, water, banking, finance, healthcare, transport, government, communications, media, and emergency and security services. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. arrives in Washington, D.C. on Monday morning, July 21 Manila time, for his first official visit to the United States under President Donald Trump. He is set to meet with Trump at the White House on July 22 D.C. time, joined by top Philippine government officials. The Philippines' Department of Foreign Affairs says the visit is meant to, quote, further strengthen the Philippines-United States alliance, including greater security and economic cooperation. Before meeting with Trump, Marcos and key cabinet members will hold talks with State Secretary Marco Rubio and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on July 21 D.C. time. Marcos' first visit comes at a crucial time for the two countries. For Trump, the visit reflects his administration's push to reshape how the U.S. engages, especially with allies in the global south. For Marcos, it's an opportunity to boost and broaden the Philippines' foreign relations. The Philippine economic team also arrived in the U.S. ahead of Marcos to negotiate the 20% tariffs imposed on the country, which is higher than the previously announced 17%. What took nature decades to build was destroyed quickly, not by explosives, but by something quieter, more precise, and possibly intentional. In early June, a Chinese fishing vessel dropped a parachute anchor at a depth of 9 meters, around 2.6 kilometers east of Pag-asa Key 1 in the Kalayaan Island group within the West Philippine Sea. The Palawan Council for Sustainable Development says the vessel damaged at least 464 square meters of living coral reef worth an estimated 11.1 million pesos. Officials say the incident highlights ongoing marine threats and rising concerns over repeated intrusions into Philippine waters. The PCSD's Habitat Management Section Chair Mark Ace de la Cruz says, quote, we observed fragments, soft and hard corals crushed in a pattern consistent with dragging, not impact. Officials say a parachute anchor was the cause and it is typically used to slow vessel drift in open water. The PCSD adds the affected reef, which took decades to form, was home to marine life such as clownfish, shrimp, and coral polyps. Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao showed up and nearly pulled off a shocker to remember. Instead, he had to settle for a majority draw against Barios, who kept his WBC welterweight title on Saturday, July 19 or Sunday, July 20 Philippine time. At 46 years old and nearly 4 years out of the ring, Pacquiao showed he can still hang with today's top fighters, reminding everyone why he was considered one of the greatest boxers ever. But the judges saw it differently, scoring the fight 114-114, 114-114, and 115-113 for Barios, the 30-year-old champion who stopped Pacquiao from making history.
I did my best, I did my best in the fight. I really thought that I would. I'm still thankful because I didn't lose the fight. It's a draw.
Barios also believes he deserved to win and is grateful for the chance to fight Pacquiao, who had already turned pro before he was even born. When asked about a rematch,
like I said, I mean, if a rematch is something he wants, then I'm with it.
Pacman is back, and the journey will continue.
and that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.